This was originally Coach K's idea, actually, but Rick Pitino is in full agreement that the ACC and the Big East should consider some kind of merger, and he even talked about adding schools like Dayton and St. Louis. Theoretically, I get it because of how football has had such a big residual effect on all college athletics, especially basketball. The Big East doesn't have football. ACC football isn't good. They should consider teaming up together to make a basketball powerhouse that they both once were. Only a few years ago, the Big East and ACC were seen as the two of the best, if not the best, basketball conferences in the entire country. Duke, Carolina, Virginia, Clemson, NC State, Louisville, UConn, Marquette, St. John's, like it would be one of the best, if not the best, in all of college basketball. I get what he's saying, but practically is the reason why it'll never happen. We have to get the NCAA on board, the conferences, the schools, like it's never going to work. But let's go through what it would have to look like to have 27 total teams. I think the only way this would be able to work is to have one big conference in football. The Big East doesn't have football, so it's basically just ACC football still. And then you'd have promotion and relegation for basketball and other sports, where I legitimately think this is how you do it. This is where you can consider adding schools like Dayton and St. Louis and VCU. So say you added all 15 A10 schools also, you'd have 42 teams total for basketball. And you could do 3 tiers of 14. If you're in tier 2 and you finish in the top 3, you go up to tier 1. And if you're in tier 2 and you finish in the bottom 3, you go down to tier 3. It's the same thing for tier 1 and tier 3. Teams are always moving around relative to their respective performance and program quality. This is what you should do for all of college athletics, because that solves a lot of the issues that are in college athletics that people worry about right now. The spending gap and quality gap is huge. That's why people are worried about the idea of mid-majors and Cinderellas down the line. And is it going to be like it was this past NCAA tournament? Each tier would have different spending ranges that you have to be in. And then also, it decentivizes transfer. You win tier 2, you go to tier 1. Financially, you're going to have more money to be able to shell out for players, and they're going to be happy getting more money. You're also playing at the top level of competition. You don't need to transfer to Carolina and Virginia Tech and whatever, because you're going to be playing at the same level as them now. It'll help schools retain players if their programs are actually succeeding. I think this would make sense for college basketball. I think it would make sense for all of college athletics, but this is all never going to happen. So